Welcome once again here on Regional Radio Sports. I'm Paul County, the founder and president of Regional Radio Sports. Glad you can join us here for Bethel Men's Basketball Media Day. Glad to be with you here for the 25th season. For yours truly here behind the mics of the Bethel Pilots. Great to be joined here by Trent Edwards, Drew Lutz, and Nathan Aerts. Glad to have these guys with us. Had a chance to watch these guys kind of grow up, and not only at their high school levels, but also as college athletes, and thrilled to have them with me here today. And obviously, we're going to start with Drew. He's closest to my left here, and had a chance to watch you, and I mentioned this to Steve, and jokingly, this skinny little kid come out of the locker room over at the Palace at Penn High School as a freshman, thinking, my, oh my, can anybody get any skinnier than that? And number two, can this guy hoop it up? And boy, by the time the season concluded, and by the time you have, after watching you play last year, well, I tell you what, you have grown exponentially, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I want to talk about just that. I'm going to talk that with everybody here today, but I want to talk about that growth period from the time as a freshman in high school going into this your final season as a college athlete.
Yeah, it's really cool to reflect on coming in as that skinny freshman and to where I am today. I've gone through a lot of ups and downs, but I feel like I've learned a lot, grown a lot, and it's when I reflect back, as I've done a lot this summer, it's just cool to see where basketball has taken me and all the opportunities I've been able to have. So yeah. Yeah,
it's so neat to be able to watch you and your brother and your sisters getting to play ball and get a chance to know them over the years, and it's great to have those people involved in your life. And you know, now you find yourself in your position to these new freshmen that are coming in and these transfers to come in. Now you're going to be in a pivotal role as not only as a spiritual leader on your basketball team, but you're also going to be a lead by example kind of guy, and how you play the game, how you go about your daily work, as Coach talked about, from how you eat to how you prepare to how you rest. There are so many pivotal things that these young guys are watching you, and matter of fact, all three of you guys in that role. So talk about embracing that.
Yeah, it's been fun to embrace that. I feel like I've had similar leaders in my life, so it's been cool to kind of be able to be that for someone else. I'm super excited for these young guys, and it's cool that they look up to me. I hope I'm leading in a positive way and leave a good impact, but yeah.
Well, Nathan's giving the nod over there that you're doing the right things. So, Nathan, likewise, I had a chance to watch you kind of grow up and play some high school basketball, and I certainly have watched you grow up in this league and for the last 4 or 5 years, to see you mature in a wide variety of ways, both being able to drive, take the ball off the drive, being able to shoot the ball from the perimeter, being a lockdown defender, and doing the things. And a lot of times you've had to be matched up against some of the biggest guys in the country, as well as the biggest guys in this league. So talk about your growth. This is your final go-around. What do you think about it when you reflect back on it?
I mean, I think kind of the main thing I look at is just kind of the relationships I've built over the years. I've been able to play with a lot of great players. Obviously, Drew Lutz, Trevion Cruz, Grant Galen, D. Hart. I've played with a lot of great shooters, players. So being able to learn from them has been very pivotal in where I am today. So I look back at that a lot.
Trent, for you, you find yourself in a situation. You got a couple more years up, but you find yourself in a role, or you guys have had some injuries. You've been trying to fight through some of those things, whether it be concussion or this or that. But talk to me about your maturation. You got a couple years remaining. So how do you feel that you have matured over the years?
Yeah, kind of like Drew and Nate both said. Like, I've had a lot of players above me that have helped me kind of fill that role for these younger guys that we have now. And just the relationships that we've built over the years has really pushed me to be a better both basketball player and just person in general.
I want you guys to take me back to that crazy 5-day stretch there in March when you won the NCCAA National Championship. Trent, I'm going to start with you on this one. It was so many unique things happening, people getting sick, people getting hurt, people stepping up and playing outside their mind. I mean, once again, maybe one of the best stories that I've ever covered here in my 25 seasons here at Bethel is what Life Granville did down the stretch, and able to play his biggest game of his career in the most important game. And Nate, you were unavailable to go, so you didn't get a chance. Drew was banged up, and I mean, so everybody had heroes, but I don't think we could have seen a more inspired performance than we saw last year from Life Granville.
Yeah. I mean, if you know Life as a person, you know how hard he works at basketball, and just the kind of guy he is. Like, he was ready to step up. He was ready for that moment. It was cool to see him just fill that role that we needed and step up in the process. So.
All right, boys, what do you think about this, Nathan? And when you look back on the national championship, you guys are coming into this regular season now on a 3-game winning streak. So let's talk about what it was like to cut down the nets and bring home a blue banner here to the Gage Gymnasium.
Yeah, it was really special. Coming off a tough loss in Tennessee and then being able to bounce back and do that was really special. And like you talked about, guys stepping up. Especially Life, man, he just worked every day throughout the whole season, so with the same positive energy and attitude. So it was really neat to see him step up in that time.
I know, Nathan, it had to be bittersweet for you. You were so excited for your teammates, but you were sick as a dog. You couldn't be able to go because you got some bad food, and it's just one of those things. But I know that you were excited about the whole dynamic. You got to keep in mind, that team would have never been there had it not been for you. And so that's how I look at it. This team won a whole bunch of games. I won 20 games last year. Had they not had you in the lineup, they would have never even been in that position to begin with, right?
I mean, we had a great group of guys that year. I mean, just to end the season the way we did. I mean, obviously I wasn't there, but kind of coming up with Phil Segota, Life Granville, Mickey, just being with those guys since my freshman year. Although I wasn't there, it was really special just to, even though I was sitting in the back of my dad's truck listening to the cast, it was really cool to see those guys kind of step up and take charge of the game. So it was an awesome experience to see those guys win.
So let's talk now about the upcoming campaign. There's we have 10 new faces on this Bethel roster to start this season. I'm going to start with you, Drew, and obviously Clay Hilliard is a guy who is a lights-out shooter. I remember watching him light the Pilots up for about 35 one night, and sometime in his career. But he's a guy that's going to have to knock down shots. He's got unbelievable range. So let's just talk about some of the key components, maybe some of the transfers, maybe some of the freshmen. I mean, you're going to be a coach someday. So you're going to get this question asked to you. It goes, all right, these are the new guys. I'm expecting big things from these guys because and why. So let's take a look at the roster. You got it right there in front of you. What do you think?
Yeah, so when I think about Clay, it's really been cool for me because I grew up playing with Clay in AAU, and just that relationship that we already had and having him come here now has been really special. When you think of Jameer, he can really guard the ball. He brings a level of intensity that we need. He's also a super humble guy, which is fun to be around. The freshman, we got Austin. He can really shoot it. He does everything right, which is, again, fun guy to play with. Hedrick plays super hard. Luke, he's going to be a stud. He's really fun to play with, and he can shoot the lights out. And then Ellenson, he'll be good. He just needs to keep working, keep hitting the weight room, but he's going to be good someday. And then you're really going to like Preston Phillips, I think. He'll get rebounds. He'll do whatever you need him to do. He's super athletic, but he's going to be great for us this year. And Ike's a super strong rebounder. James as well. He's a big guy for us. I think he's going to be really awesome. So yeah, I think I got everybody.
Yep. When it's all said and done, Nathan, this team has to be dominant in the post in some pivotal games. For instance, like Grace, Indiana Wesleyan, where they've had dominant post players over the course of the Crossroads League season. And we're going to seize that as the season goes along, as those teams bring in talented post players. So you may be guarding a post guy, you may be guarding a guard. You just never know. So you're in a very unique, but you're also athletic enough to be able to do that. You're strong enough to be able to do that. So talk about having for yourself physically to be able to play in so many pivotal defensive roles, because offensively this team's already going to be really, really good from the time they walk the ball over the midcourt line with those two guards. If Hilliard and Lutz are on the floor at the same time, I don't think you have to worry about, hey, I don't have to have 25 tonight. I can go out there and knock some people around, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think you're right about that. I mean, I think the main focus going into the season is defense. I mean, obviously we know Drew can put the ball in the basket. We have a lot of good shooters. So, and we bring in a lot of big guys this year. Sure. So that's really going to help us come late in the season when guys are banged up. We'll be able to have guys that will step up and be able to rebound for us. And just for me looking at the season, I feel like I've always kind of had to be able to guard bigs when we play small ball. And then I've also guarded some of the guards in our league. So I feel like I definitely have some experience going into the season, and I'll be able to handle that.
Coach Raymond talked a lot about the trip to the Dominican Republic. Trent, I want you to talk about that. And I know not everybody had a chance to go, so I don't know the dynamics on that one. But can you speak to, I've talked to athletes for years upon years. More often than not, the athletes that are going there are actually get more out of it than the people that they're ministering to. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. First off, I think it was just a great start to the season. It was a really good team bonding opportunity. I know not everyone was there. We didn't have everyone there. Some people had jobs. Other people weren't committed yet. But it was a great team bonding experience. And, yeah, the kids had a lot more of an impact on us than we did on them. Just to see the joy that they had just in the little things. Just it didn't rain for a month down there, and it rained while we were down there, and they were just running around playing in it. And just to see like how thankful they were for all of that really challenges myself and our team to just be grateful for what we have.
All right, Drew, talk about the mission trip from you. I mean, you're actively as one of the spiritual leaders in this group. Guys look up to you from that standpoint, and and I know you take that responsibility probably more than the basketball aspect, because this is who you are. So let's talk about your relationship with Christ and how it was affected during your trip to the Dominican.
Yeah, the trip was, overwhelmed with emotions. I think this off season is really just put in perspective that there's more life than basketball, and the cool thing is we get to use basketball as a platform, and we can share the gospel through basketball. But the trip, it was just super cool to have a lot of real conversations with the guys and get to know people's hearts, and just to praise Jesus, because that's what it's really all about. So,
when you look at the spiritual dynamics of your team, I'm going to leave this open to anybody who wants to talk about this. Can you guys talk about that? I know Coach Paulsgrove, really, the women's team, talked about how much he's excited about the growth of his gals spiritually. Can you guys talk about the growth collectively, spiritually? Anybody want to jump on that question?
Yeah, I can jump a little bit. I'm super excited. I think we have guys who are on all different walks of spiritual journey, but I think we have everybody is an open heart to learning more and trying to grow. We're doing things like team meals where maybe we'll talk about the Bible a little bit and just have team reflections, see where guys' hearts and minds are at. And then me and Andrew Hedrick and Ike Ume have led worship at a young adults thing where the whole team went. So it's just been cool stuff like that I have been experienced as a college basketball player, to have that team kind of dynamic focus on Christ.
When you look at where you guys are at going into this season, I know that it's so important that you get up to a good start because you're going to be playing in arguably the best conference in America. Nathan, I'm going to start with you on this one. Can you speak to what is it like? What does your body go through when you're talking about playing through the league once and then come back and do it again, either home or on the road? Can you speak to what your body goes through getting beat up time and time again over the course of a 2 or 3 month period?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, especially coming to Bethel. I feel like every time we play a Crossroads opponent, they're always giving us their best shot. So day in, day out, it can definitely be draining, but you got to stay mentally focused. And I think we have a really good group of guys this year that I know James and Clay, they have some experience in the Crossroads. So I know a lot of guys will be able to step up this year. So I'm really excited.
Did you do something special during the off season to physically get bigger, stronger, faster, to knowing that you're going to get beat up every time you get out there on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just rehabbing and trying to stay healthy, just eating well and being able to prepare my body that way for the season. So I'm excited.
Trent, I know from your standpoint, you understand the Crossroads League because you got beat up in the Crossroads League. What did you do during the off season to physically get better?
Yeah. Just making sure that I'm staying in shape, staying on top of lifts, keeping my body at a point where I know that I'm strong enough that I can take on the Crossroads League. I can take on conditioning at the beginning of the season. And just eating well, making sure that I'm making the right choices and staying smart.
Based upon this roster coming into this, Drew, last year, I mean, from a minutes played standpoint, you played 36, sometimes 37 minutes a game, and there were some games where you played 40 minutes. And so this team counted on you. With the current roster that you have right now, I'm just, once again, I'm not at practice every day, but I'm guessing that you don't have to play 35 minutes a game for this team to be successful, and I'm guessing that's exciting for you because you can rest occasionally, right?
Yeah, as a competitor, I like staying on the floor, but Coach tries to remind me that think about the long run. And
sure.
But when I'm in the moment, I never want to come out, so it's always that tough argument with him, but I know he just has my best interest in heart.
What's the most difficult thing you guys, this is to all you guys, what's the most difficult thing about being a college athlete in the year 23, 24? Is there something that's out there, maybe a distraction, maybe it's social media, is it the way you eat, is it the way you study, is there something that's out there that people just don't understand what you have to go through day to day? Anybody want to jump on that one?
Yeah, I'll go through it. I'd say studies is a big part of it, you know, like we're at school. Basketball's a part of it, obviously. It's a big part of our lives. But like Drew said earlier, it's not the most important thing. We're here to build our future, and Coach does a really good job of reminding us of that, reminding us that God is there, you know. Faith is a big aspect, and so are our studies, and that's why we're here, and then basketball comes next.
Guys, you else want to follow up on that?
I feel like for me, I know a lot of people probably say when they go to school, but time management is just a huge thing. Just with 2 days we're doing right now, lifting, 6 a.m. practices, just being able to, after practice, go to class and get your studies done and still have time to rehab, it can be a lot sometimes. So I think that's definitely a very important aspect of it.
Got a new assistant coach this year, Greg Miller. Greg was a tremendous player, playing for Coach Jim Kessler at Grace. Tremendous coach, has been successful. Everything he's touched has been dynamic. Let's start with you, Nathan. He's a guy that, by the looks of him, he can still get in there and mix it up. So talk about Coach Miller and the impact that he's having already.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's going to be huge for our program this year. I mean, he's a high-energy guy. I mean, when we get there at 6 a.m., he's always clapping, he's talking. So I think guys respond well to him, and I think he's going to really push this team forward this year in the coaching aspect of things and help Coach Draven out a lot.
Drew, what's your take on Coach Greg Miller?
Yeah, he has an infectious personality. He's just a guy you want to be around, and the thing I love about him is just how he treats everybody the same, and he loves them, and it's like having another head coach around. So he's been really awesome. I think he's going to be great for us. One of the things that I mentioned when I was talking with the girls program earlier, or women's program I should say, just talking about team dynamics and some of the stuff that their experience as a college athlete. But I'd like for you to speak about the the importance when a potential freshman is coming into this building, and you guys are the mouthpiece. You guys are the people that a future pilot, or potentially a future pilot, is. I mean, what is the first thing that you want them to see about this program is? Drew, let me start with you. So you can be the pilot's best, quote-unquote, salesperson. I'm using that in a positive way. Yeah. In selling this program for future generations of people wearing those blue jerseys. So give us an idea what you want people to know, those future pilots, what this program's all about. Yeah, like first and foremost, we're Christ-centered. We love Jesus. You're going to have teammates and coaches that really care about you, really love you, and it's not just fake stuff where every college coach tells you, like, it's a close team bond. Like, it's more of a brotherhood. I've seen that more than ever this off season, so I would say that. All right. What do you think, Trent, about potential recruits coming in to see you, and what do you think that you want to tell them?
Yeah, like Drew said, that we're Christ-centered first off, and that our coaches really do care about us. Like, they want us to be better people, better men, better husbands, brothers, whatever category that falls under. But they really push us to be better in those areas, and then obviously help us become better basketball players.
All right, so if I'm going to, Nathan, I need your honest opinion about this one. So if I'm going to go into the gym right now and I'm going to say, okay, we're going to put Lutz and Draven at the free throw line. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to make them shoot 100 free throws. Who's going to win the free throw contest?
I'm glad you asked that question. It's a very good question. Draven, he's a very good free throw shooter, and I know he's got a very high percentage all the time, but I got to go with Drew Lutz here.
Drew Lutz, what do you think about that? Can you take the coach?
We might have to do that someday. Just maybe after season, just test that out.
I think you should just go do it right now. I think what we should do is we could do like a free throw shoot-a-thon, and whoever wins get a chance to get something special. Maybe we get some people to bring in some revenue for you guys. Have a big gathering or something. I mean, I think that'd be kind of a cool gig.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We should bring that.
We got to be creative in our financing here, right? That's what we want to be able to do.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a blast watching you guys grow up. It really has. Trent, I know that you've been on the road with me. I remember when you got your concussion, you drove home with us, and we have really enjoyed the Bethel pilot experience, and it's for a quarter of a century being here, seeing these red banners, seeing these blue banners, seeing all those national championship things up there. I just think it's really, really cool to be a part of this for another go-round. I'm privileged to be able to put that headset on and hang out with you guys. So I'm going to wish you best luck. I pray that God just continues to bless your socks off. How's that?
Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And stay healthy, okay? Can we all stay healthy? Yeah, that would be something that would be really, really fun. That's going to do it here from our broadcast location inside the Y Camp Athletic Center. Thanks again to Nathan Aerts. He grew up at Valparaiso, Indiana, went to Valparaiso High School. Drew Lutz, how about this guy? Penn High School, locally here. And, of course, Trent out here, who grew up and played at Northwood High School. Local guys making some serious noise here on the campus in Mishawaka, Indiana. For all of us at Regional Radio Sports, I'm Paul Condry. God bless you all.